Why hello there, gender neutral buddies and bros, and welcome back to another amazing video. At this point in time, you might be interested in knowing what happens to Alex, Faye, and Autumn. Where do they go? What do they do? I was given such a spoiler-free overview of the graphic novel that I don't even know what will happen next. And here is the next page. Dun dun dun! That carried on for too long, but alright. In this page, we have Alex, who sees a squirrel. Oh my god, it's a squirrel, am I right? And they point to the squirrel, and they're just trying to get everybody to look at the squirrel, right? And then Autumn says that if they don't go, then they're gonna not catch up to their group in time, because they're already at the back of the group, so they might get lost, right? And during their arguing, Faye noticed that the group already left without them, but they left at a path, like at an area in the path where it's split in two different directions. So they had to figure out which one to go, like which one to take, so that they could find their group, right? And there is always the third option of going back, but they didn't choose that yet. And Faye decides that she's going to lead their group and show them, like, the way. And she explained that when she was little, she used to go on hikes with her dad, and they would camping and all of those fun things out in the wilderness and sorts of things. And her dad taught her the art of tracking and, like, how to use a compass correctly. But, they listened to her, and they're like, alright, just tell us where to go. And she tried to explain more that because of her amazing tracking skills, she knew exactly where to go. But she, in fact, did not know that. Next, Alex kind of was hesitant about going on the path because it might have been the wrong path. They didn't want to go on the wrong path because then they'll be even farther away from the group. So Alex just was like, I don't want to go. I think we should just turn back around. But then Faye was like, come on, we gotta go. And at this point in the story, we should notice, any of you who know Alex as a character would know that Alex, being the one with all of the common sense, isn't a very often occurring thing. So when it happens, you should listen to them. Like, in the 0.5% of the time that Alex knows, like, what to do with common sense, you should listen to them hands down, right? Sadly, they did not. Now, let's get into the actual, like, drawing process, because this was pretty interesting. I did a lot of fun things with the background, like clouds. I like how they turned out, because I don't know how to draw clouds digitally, and I think they turned out very well for someone who doesn't know how to draw clouds digitally. So, that's fun. Alex has an affinity with squirrels, as we've recently stated, but you can actually kind of see the squirrel in the background. So they did find a squirrel, and they're just kind of pointing to it in the first panel, and the squirrel's really cute. So if you go over to my Instagram, follow me over there. yeah, please follow me on Instagram. If you go on my Instagram, where this will be posted so that you can like read it and stuff, then that would be appreciated. But you could zoom in and you could see the squirrel, and that would be very cute. Like, as for backgrounds other than the clouds, which I've already talked about, I think I did pretty well, like, highlights and shadows wise. They're pretty plain backgrounds, I understand, but note that I had to make 45 panels that all had, like, fully done illustrations without, like, boring myself. Like, without taking so much time that I lose motivation. But I think they turned out well for my short attention span. Because, as we all know, I can't focus longer than 0.3 seconds. As you noticed in the first panel, along with the squirrel, there is a cheeky book that Faye is reading, and it's actually a book about leaves. And it would make sense that she's reading a book about leaves because she's trying to look for the extra credit that I mentioned in the last video. So go check that out if you haven't already seen it. I'll link it up in the card along with the playlist of the 2 previous videos in this series. Yeah. Subtle plug. That's great. This is a funny joke that I thought of, and I'm very proud of it. I think it's the best joke in the entire book, actually. Like, stop reading at this point, it's done. But, Faye references the fact that Alex is being such a nerd when they're looking for a squirrel. And they say, and Faye says this while having her nose pretty much in a book. Like, that is the worst possible timing to call somebody else a nerd. But yeah, that's my favorite joke in the whole book. You can just stop reading the book after this. It's done, I guess. You just don't have to read anymore. It's over. Done with. Kaput, as some would say. But like, actually, please go to my Instagram, where I'll have these posted every Wednesday, and like read them, because that would be nice. And I'd love to hear you guys' feedback and all of those other things. Well, as it is over now, like, subscribe, share, comment, all of those fun things that YouTubers normally say, and follow my Instagram, I guess. And also Prompts, even though I didn't talk about her, she's great, so follow her on Instagram too. She's awesome, and she posts a lot more often than I do, yeah! And so those will be in the description, and I will bid you adieu. Goodbye.